Hi everyone, it's Araenia from Being Human.
Yeah, Yasa and Araenia here.
He's also from Being Human, in case you didn't know. So tonight we're doing the second part of our triangle clearings. As we described last week, we're going to look at income today and find out how you earn your income, how you're limited by how you can earn your income, and what to do if you're wanting to change your occupation or your work or your source of income. So quite a big situation there. We often find that what we are committed to doing in our life is not always what we want to do. But we have programming and limitations that come from our subconscious that hold us in a repeating pattern of the kind of income that we can achieve, whether that be blue income from tangible assets, career, occupation, investments, and so on, or red income, which is the emotional side, getting positive effect, appreciation, recognition, or love. So all of those aspects. Primarily, we're looking at the blue matrix today, which is, I think we are.
Yep.
Which is tangible income and the kinds of jobs that you might have, or if you're not working, just how you manage your income or where you get it from. So that's pretty much a summary of what we're doing tonight. I'll just ask Yasa to have a bit of a recap on the whole cause and effect triangle patterning that we looked at last week. So if you were not on last week's Facebook Live, it'll catch you up with what we're talking about when we talk about a triangle clearing. And if you were here last week as part of our triangle last week, then it just serves as a reminder to bring all those ideas back to the surface, ready to go on with a new clearing. So I'll hand over to Yasa. But maybe before you get going, I'm going to say hello to the people who are saying hello to us. And hello to Zelda and Gina, Jill, and Christine. Whoops, there's a few more here. I'll scroll down and find you all. To Maika, Nicoletta, and Sharon. And great to see you all with us tonight. Hope you find out something about yourself. And if you're looking at the different ways that you can earn income, maybe some insights as to what might be holding you back. So, over to you.
This is bloody handy, this one. We all want income. We want to friggin' earn income the way we want to friggin' work. So I'm going to tell you where your settings are for your work income. And it's quite handy having a computer and especially a telephone, because most people know all about settings. I'll show you where your settings are. And what we're going to do, instead of getting a remote control, shoving it underneath your jersey and finding your settings, the shape of the clearing gets you into your settings. So tonight we're going to do a triangle clearing, and as soon as you start doing this, where your settings are, they're listening all the time. Your subconscious ego is listening through listening through your ears and eyeballs and all your senses, and as soon as you start doing this format, it goes, I know what you're talking about. Okay, so I'll just show you where your settings are. Outside layer, all right, physical income, physical body. The physical reality is the green matrix, all right, and tonight we're going to do clearings on the green matrix, which is the physical thing, which means that we are programmed to create certain things in our physical reality before we are allowed income, according to the subconscious. Ghost, outside layer of your ghost or spirit. Feminine body, the emotions and the feeling one. Red matrix, okay, the emotional matrix is the red matrix. The mental matrix is the blue one. Now inside of here we've got the white subconscious ego. This is where the settings are. Alright, so, and we all operate off these. I know we all like to think what we're doing in this reality is fantastic in the physical 3D, but I'll tell you what, it's the settings in here that create here, and there's ways and means in getting in here to change your settings. So that's what we're going to do.
So what we're looking at tonight is the green physical matrix of our income, careers, tangible money sources. So we're going to use the green physical matrix and make changes in it to allow us to earn blue tangible money.
One fire! One fire!
So just to keep the green and the blue and the red clear, when we do a triangle clearing, there are 3 colours we work with. We work with the green physical, the blue mental, and the red emotional. Tonight's clearing is going to focus on the green physical elements, like we did last week with where we were born and the houses that we lived in. What we're looking to achieve, we're getting messages popping up here, what we're looking to achieve is blue tangible income, and that's out of those little guys that Yasa just had out a moment ago. So let's just keep that clear. We're looking at the green physical components to allow us to earn or accumulate blue tangible income in the source of careers, income, money, and so on and so forth. Just saying hello to Ebony and Jose and Eva also joining us, and I've just got to send a message here. To Siobhan, who's trying to get on and join us. So
okay, let me take it from here. Righto, this is pretty cool. I'll tell you how we work, okay?
Excuse me.
We have our thought, whatever thought state is. It's up here. When we've had our thought and we want to send it down in through our metabolism to make it happen, because we need our body to manifest these things. So what happens is that we have our thought up here. Oh, this is Frank. Yo, Frank. Kia ora, mate. There's the gang out there. There are 15 people watching so far.
Yeah.
Frank's from Beijing, by the way, everyone. That's why it's got all these hard case meridian lines on them and pressure points. Okay, Frank. Thoughts happened up here, okay? It comes down past your neck. The element of space is in here, and this is where you make the decision. Am I going to have a hobby of this? Am I going to make a career of this? If I'm going to be hobby, am I just going to have a red income and try and make people like me from being nice to them? Or am I actually going to take this seriously, change it, and I'm going to get income out of it and make money out of it, be it a job, career, whatever it is? You make that decision here, right, in the throat. That now, Frank doesn't have this chakra marked on him. This is a sub chakra, which is between the throat and the heart, and it's 4 fingers. There's me apple there. And if I do 4 fingers down, I hit here, right? Here's my heart chakra. 4 fingers up, I hit the same place. This is known as your Davic heart, and this is the one that creates our physical matrix, the green matrix, our stage, okay? And it's this one here. So when we change these settings, we are changing the turquoise chakra, can you see that, between the throat and the heart. It's right here. And if most people have a necklace or something, this is usually the that hangs over this chakra. So a piece of Ponama is very cool because it activates this chakra. Whatever it is, if you try and have something sacred, it's going to help you in your physical reality. This is the reality that you want to look after or accelerate, okay? Crystals are accelerator. If you've got good karma, it'll accelerate them. If you've got stink karma, it's going to accelerate them. Please remember that. It's the quartz. It's the quartz that accelerates it. Our electromagnetic aura gets caught up in the quartz crystal and it accelerates. Okay, now, the green matrix is the physical reality that we have to create to get income. So, you want the result of an effect in the form of money. I would like money, please. Shitloads of it, but for a start, I'd like to have some money. So what you're after You know that blue matrix there? The blue matrix is masculine. And it's all about bucks and tangibility. So where's someone? Here's someone here, right? So you go, far out, I'd really like to earn some money. So your subconscious, which is the white one, here's a miniature job, goes, okay, cool. Now the subconscious is unable just to manifest money for you. It has to create a stage for you to play it out on so you can make your money or tangible income. So what it does, it has to set up a cause. So we can play out this before the energy goes from from the cause to the effect. Once it gets to the effect, this has got dollar signs written all over it, and it's heading towards you. So in the settings, in our mind, our subconscious mind, we have settings all to do with the cause, because the subconscious mind knows, I need to have this. I need to be by water. I need to be in a shop. I need to have a counter. I have to have a till. I have to have administration. So that means I've got to have shitloads of paper, and I've got to organise a hell of a lot of stuff. And that's all in here before you can get this. Now you need 55% of your cause to get a pass mark. 51% to get a pass mark. So over here, then the income's going to start coming in. The more ticks you can have in this reality, the more income you are going to have. Okay? So depending on what you are subconsciously programmed to make income out of, totally depends on the cause, and that will reflect on how much money you make. Okay with that?
I'm perfectly fine.
We got any questions yet?
We just need to work out that magic formula.
Any relevant? Hey, if you
no,
guys want to ask any,
everybody saying hello at the
is everyone
moment,
going all right? Like, have you got any questions? Good
Yep.
time, because what happens, Araenia will, while I'm in full flight here, Araenia reads the comments and go, I've got a question, and it helps because
it helps to clarify.
It helps to clarify, and a whole lot of other people are out there going, what the hell is, what happened?
They'll have the same question.
Usually.
You guarantee it. Guarantee someone else will have that question. Yeah.
So to change the settings, we're going to show you what to write down here. Okay? And once we've got that, Araenia's got 10...
the 10 steps.
The 10 steps.
10 steps, just like we did last week.
Yep.
We'll stick with that format because that is a nice, clear way of having a look at this.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Totally. And what we'll do is that, I hope you got a piece of paper and pen, because you're going to be writing down a bit of your stuff, because everyone's got a different matrix here, right? We're going to go through these different steps here, what you need to earn income. So what we're going to do is we're going to itemize these. Now the only way to clear anything is through a consciousness higher than what created the patterning. There's only a few things higher than the fourth dimension in the subconscious mind, and that's our eternal flame. This is fourth dimensional, this is fifth dimensional. So what we do here, we're going to itemize, this is the most important part, itemize these, and then at the end of the session we are going to clear all these into your fifth dimensional portal, which is your Ahika, your eternal flame, whole soul, Holy Spirit, and then we're going to fill the void up with your eternal flame. So when you want to earn money, instead of having to create all these blinking things on your stage, all you're going to have the eternal flame there, and that's a fifth dimensional software that's going to change everything. Okay? Cool.
Right. So some of the things that we're going to write maybe just move the flame over there. Some of the things that we'll end up writing in our cause list may be things that you're actually, that you like, that you see as a positive. Now, the reason we include those is because in themselves they're a limitation. So it will keep you always having to have that one particular item. So we'll have things here that we're not happy about, but there could be some things that we enjoy, and we never totally get rid of them. All we ever do is take this narrow band of limitation and we just open it right out, we expand it so that everything from here to here, the whole lot, is open to you. And that means if there's something in your work reality that you really enjoy, say for instance, you look out the window and you can see the ocean and that makes you feel good every day. That's great. Just because we clear it does not mean that you lose it. It just means that we open up to even more possibilities. You can always have any of those items that are in there if you really want to keep them. So, anyway, did you want to add to that?
Yeah. You know, how many times do we want to change jobs? Like, far out, you know. I'm sick of this job. I've been at it for so long, I've got a sore back. Oh, this, you know, I've got carpal tunnel, is that?
Carpal tunnel.
Carpal
yeah,
tunnel
the
for the
wrist,
people
yeah.
in the wrist thing.
Yeah.
Or, you know, you might become spiritually minded, go far out. I'd really like to do a bit of healing or a bit of massage or something for income. Trouble is, in your settings, which were bloody bunged there before 7 years old, you've got, gosh, I don't know, labour, work hard,
Yeah.
bust your ass,
Work
work
for the
inside.
organisation.
Yeah, work for the company. I own my company, my soul, or my ass to the company's soul.
Yeah.
So those are the things.
To the company store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that we still play those. No matter what you want to do on this matrix here, you may want to be, I don't know, a bloody scuba diver and you want to earn income, but trouble is you're programmed to work in a shop. It ain't going to work.
Not as an occupation. What you'll find is that you might be able to do it as a hobby, and maybe even a hobby that earns you a little bit of pocket money. Now this is where you might go down to the market or go busking because you enjoy music, and you might make $60 or $70. Now that's not going to put the rent money or the mortgage money in the bank. It's not going to buy you food. It's not going to do all that, but it'll give you a little bit of money for a little bit of something else.
Going to buy a box of booze or a packet of cigarettes, which is totally emotional.
Yeah, so whatever it is, it's going to be red income if you're into that hobby. So what we're looking at is how, if you do want to be the scuba diver or you do want to be busking, you know, full time, or you want to heal or do massage or any of those things, what are those green matrix physical blocks that you need to remove to open up from this narrow path to give you all the scope that you could possibly look for. Now, Nicoletta's asked here, does clearing help bad luck with health, stopping you from working? Well, the way I perceive bad luck is karmic patterning. So I really don't look at anything as good luck or bad luck.
I can tell you what luck stands for.
Go on then.
Link up correct karma.
Oh, there you go. So it's about clearing any karma that stands in your way. So that's what bad luck is, right? So we're linking into that karma, and we want to clear it out of the way. So in this evening, we're going to look at any green aspects that are in there. All illness and health issues, as we've talked about in the body decoding sessions, starts on the inside, and they start in your belief systems, your emotions, your thought patterns, and your subconscious mind programs. So when we get in and we adjust those, which we're going to do here, it will open up new opportunities for you. Now, that's saying that doing this one clearing may open up a particular area for you, Nicoletta. It may be that you've got some body decoding, subconscious patterns that need to come up and be cleared before you can take advantage of that, or other patterns. Yasa and I, this is why we want to teach you how to clear these things. Yasa and I are clearing all the time. Every time something comes out and we think that's a block towards our progress, towards us having the kind of life that we want to have, we will go in there and we identify what those programs are, and we clear them. So that's why we want to show you how to clear.
Yeah.
All right, so, and we've got one here from Siobhan, and
Yeah,
she's
go
saying
Siobhan.
she wants to publish the books she has written, and this has come in on message, okay, so you're not seeing it. If you're looking on comments over there, you're not going to see it. She wants to publish the books that she's written, but her matrix is working behind a desk for a corporation.
Yeah,
so we can see that
totally.
when you're working behind a desk for a corporation, you are not able on your own, in your own volition, to go out and publish something in your own name. If she was to publish, it would be some kind of technical book or whatever it is that relates to the corporation she's working with, and she'd have to publish in their name. So what we would do for Siobhan is to put some of those factors in here, and we'll definitely be covering those tonight. Jo says she's got a list. I've got a list. I tell you, I've definitely got a list. And we'll look at what some of those physical attributes are that we need to open out and to take the limitations away from, so that we can start getting some of this stuff moving.
Yeah.
Just some really good feedback over the last few days about people who attended our triangle program last week. We have heard some amazing things. People having a go at clearings for themselves. And we got messages all week long about people telling us what they'd done, what they'd cleared out, and then after the Facebook Live, they thought, oh gosh, I need to include this and this and this. And they were doing that, and we just went through that flame, rain, flame, and got them to clear those aspects out of their matrix as well. So as some of you are on there tonight, which is great to see, that's just so fabulous. It really lifts our energy, because we're just really here to help people understand how they can actually improve their own lives. So that's what we're here for.
And what happens is that, okay, you're going to write a list now, and you're going to clear it, and then down the road on Thursday you're going to go, far out, I just realised I've got this in my matrix. Next question is, do I have to write that whole friggin' list again? No, it's unnecessary. All you have to do is do it in your head. Just say, hey, I need to bring this up off the taskbar, just like in the computer. Right, okay, what have I got? Okay, I've got cause over here, and I've got effect in the form of money. Just say, have I got this right? You're going to get a yes, because this thing's going to help you. Yeah, okay. So, right, I've just found out that I have to work in the public arena. I have to serve strangers, the odd person that I know. I have to work behind a desk, a counter. The counter will fit a matrix. It might be wooden, it might be formica, it might be blah. And you just write that there. You just say, is there anything else coming in? No. And you just flame it. Flame, rain, flame.
Yeah, so
so you know, that helps.
Just think of it as a tab on your computer that you've already got a page
exactly
open.
The same.
Just flick back to that tab and say, I can't remember what it was, but we had a couple of brilliant examples during the week. Let's just say that you forgot to...
2 schools down the road?
Yeah, that's right. We had one about somebody, both she and her partner had always lived with a primary school and a secondary school right near the house,
and the
very
dairy,
close. Both of them.
And the dairy just diagonally to the...
And so she just pulled that up off the taskbar and thought, oh, I better throw those items in there. And then the flame, rain, flame, the technique we showed you last week, to clear that. So, well done.
Because, you know, like, if these people, this couple want to move down somewhere, their subconscious mind will make sure that they have to live next door to a primary school, a secondary school, and a friggin' dairy. They might want to live over here.
Yeah.
But if there's no primary schools over there and there's no dairy and no it's toast.
So they may find a house that they really love in the foothills somewhere.
Yeah.
And if there's not 2 schools and a dairy there,
you're bugging.
Somebody else will buy it. Or the deal will fall through. Something will happen.
That's
anyway, so this time we're looking at income, how you get your job, where you get your money from. And especially those of you who are looking for some change. Both Yasa and I have started off in different kind of industries or different occupations, and really what we're wanting to do is to teach and help and educate people with awareness, which is why we started up the Being Human International Centre of Awareness, that we're running all our courses and classes and everything through. So it's just in its infancy at the moment. So for us, we just need to keep clearing anything that pops up that we think could be a limitation from what we used to do before. So anyway, before we go any further, you'll remember this, hopefully, from last week. Now, can you see it? Whoops. No, it just looks like white. There, hang on, let's get it in the right place. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so it's kind of, right, we've got the cause, like Yasa's got here, and the effect. We had the smiley face at the bottom.
And
then,
so
I don't know why it's so white. That's hopeless.
Hold on,
I'll
click around with the light.
Just turn the light off for a minute.
Can you see
that? Yeah, that's better. That's, whoops, except I'm upside down. So then we did the 1 down through 10, and because I've run off the page here, I just turned over and put, whoops, there we go. There they are. I put the other numbers on the next page. Okay, oh, that's better, thank you. Alright, so that was the same format we used last week, except instead of home and physical reality, today we're going to look at income and dollar signs. Alright, so I'll just make an adjustment to that, and we're good to go. So the first thing for you to do is to get your piece of paper. Again, put your cause on this left-hand side, your effect on the right-hand side,
at the top,
your smiley face down the bottom, and then your numbers 1 down through 10. And just leave yourself some room to be able to write on. If you go over the page, all good.
So what we're going to do is we're going to give you 10 headings, right? And you can put stuff underneath those headings.
I'll just get the pen to
But
change
see,
this.
the subconscious, bless its heart, likes to be organised. So if you just write this down willy-nilly, it ain't going to friggin' work. If you put it in under headings, and then underneath that headings you can put da-da-da-da, it will understand what you're talking about. Makes a pleasant change.
Right.
By the way, I was brought up in a pub, so therefore to get income, I was programmed to serve drunk people. Hence I ran a pie cart in Whakatane, starting at 10:30 at night till 3:30 in the morning. I made good money out of it, but the point is, I was programmed to be close to a pub and they come out and they were drunk. But this, unless you're drinking and you're off your face, this isn't working, so I had to clear all that in my cause.
Eva's just saying how much the lighting helped. Thanks for that, Eva.
Are we back to normal now, then? What?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to just do that and I can show them how I've changed the effect? You're like up and down here.
Come down.
It's all right. Okay, so I've just crossed out that home reality physical that we had last week, and I've just put income and then dollars. You could put blue under that because that's tangible income. Although we want the recognition, the love, the acknowledgement and all of that, what we're actually looking at the moment is how do you earn your money, and that's a blue matrix rather than the acknowledgement, recognition and the love. That will be a red matrix. So blue matrix today. Yeah, so you can't see it. Well, you can kind of see it.
Bloody hell.
Right, so anyway, you should have 1 to 10 here, and we're coming up with the first questions.
Oh, right, okay. Number 10.
Number 1.
Number what?
We're going from number 1
Okay.
instead of going backwards. So, just like we did last week, we started off in the location where we were born. So instead of necessarily where you were born, where did you first earn any kind of money? Now think about, was it pocket money? You had a part-time job, you might have been delivering newspapers, all those kinds of things that you might have done. What country were you in when you earned your first kind of money?
It's important.
So that's number 1.
Bloody important.
Write it down on your paper under number 1. Again, if you were in the North Island or the South Island or this island or that island,
Put it under the heading.
you can put it all there with the country. Okay, so that's number 1. Pop it down and then share it in the comments, please.
North Island, South Island, West Coast, East Coast.
Now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
That goes underneath the friggin' heading.
Okay, so the first heading is country. So where did you earn your first money? So if it was pocket money or an allowance, and then you moved with your parents to another country and you got your first newspaper round in that new country, just make a note of both of them.
Totally.
pocket money really count? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
If you had to do, especially if you had to earn it in some way. If it was just, yeah, well, mine was 10 cents a week when I started, but I had to do dishes and I had to, I can't even remember, help mum with the washing and stuff like that to earn that money. Some people get paid per job, and others it's more just, here's your 50 cents a week, but you have to help around the house. Some people just get given 50 cents a week for no effort.
No purpose.
No purpose. Now that would not be what we're looking at.
Just to being an egg. You might have egg coming.
That would be more red money, actually, because if you go along to a job just to go and get a paycheck and you do nothing there, chances are you're not going to be in that job very long. So we're looking at where you had to give some of your effort to get some tangible income in return. So for me, it was doing the dishes, helping mum with the washing, and helping out with my younger brother and sister, and that contributed to what I earned each week.
We got bloody Cornwall and England and Melbourne and Victoria, Australia. We're getting around.
All right, so where are
Auckland, New Zealand, I recognise that one.
So pocket money, yeah, we talked about that. Yes, we've got the North Island, we've got Cornwall, we've got Melbourne in Ireland, helping Dad in the workshop, cutting lawns. Yeah, pocket money.
Cutting lawns.
Auckland.
That damn woman there picked bloody watermelon. That'd fit the watermelon pattern.
And then Eva's saying that she did not have to earn her 50 cents. That was just a gift given to her for her to do what she wanted.
You might have donation karma.
You might have donation karma. So it's working for, well, it's getting money for no work. So that's got to put it in the red income.
Now that woman there, Gina's got babysitting, chores, odd jobs in the neighbourhood. That's a domestic reality.
Yep. Yeah.
And I think that dear woman's going for a degree in accountancy or something.
Right.
Or social work, and that's babysitting, so that could fit.
It might. We'll look at it even further. So, all right, so we've got our city, we've got our country, we've got the country that we came from.
Yeah.
Now we're going to refine that down again, especially if you've moved or at any point in your life. See, when I went to live in the United States, I was not programmed to earn money there. I got my green card. I was allowed to work. I had permission to work. But basically what I did there was voluntary work. So I was a line dance instructor at the local community centre for the aged. I was a librarian assistant. I was.
Right?
I didn't get money for any of that.
So
it was
that's
all voluntary.
red matrix.
I looked after the property in the home while my husband and his mother were working, and then when my husband was sick with cancer, I became a home nurse. So no way could I ever get paid work in the United States. I just was not programmed for it. So anyway, so your location does matter. You might find that when you were living in one country, you could only get one particular kind of work. And then you came somewhere else and you had a completely different kind of work. So for me, I know I have a past life in the Midwest of the United States, but that was a time where I did not work outside of the home. All I did was volunteer my services or look after my family. There was no income earning as a female in that past life. So you might find, Siobhan, where you've come from Ireland and then you're in New Zealand, anywhere else that you've lived, the different kinds of jobs that you had in those locations could be indicating your past lives as well. So just remember, Wednesday night we've got our past life course. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, just have a look on either Facebook or on our website for that past life discovery course. We can get into more of that.
I can hear Siobhan going, oh, fucking hell.
All right, so let's go back here. All right, so then Eva's saying, whangarei, she's thinking $5 a week for chores. 2 of it went into the school savings book. That's great because at that point you were being shown how you could have red money and you were being shown how to have blue savings money.
Interesting, it's 5 and 50 cents. There's a 5 thing
going on there. There's a 5 thing going on there.
Yeah.
So Gina's got counselling with what she was saying she's doing now.
Hi.
Fruit and veggie shop in Mount Eden for Christine. So that'll be like a part-time work at high school or something. Eva's first job was a librarian in Pataru. And Dana's saying, what if the money you got was stolen? So when when you were young, you stole milk money.
Well, the point is,
You might want to clear that.
oh, fucking hell, woman! You've got in here. I have to transgress to get it.
Yeah.
And by the way, your mum did the similar thing.
So that would be something that we would include further down.
Son of a gun! I never thought that.
Rebecca
pattern would
says,
have
yeah,
jumped
she's
through.
living in New Zealand now, but she was in Cornwall. Siobhan says, you're cheeky. Oh, I know he's cheeky. That's part of what I like about him. All right, so now we're going into the next, number 2. So have a look at, and I know we've talked a little bit in some people's comments here, the money that you earned, especially now you start looking at some of those jobs more than pocket money. Okay, so some of the actual jobs that you've had in your lifetime. Thinking about the ones where you earned the most, where you earned the least, where you had the greatest satisfaction. We were talking about those kind of comparisons last week with our home realities. So think about where you could earn the most, it was more the job that you preferred. So was it in a city, in the countryside, a rural area, in the suburbs? So just bring it into that next perimeter.
The next one down, eh?
Yep, we're into number 2. So we've gone from the country to whereabouts in the country?
Yeah.
So for me, Auckland City, out in the suburbs in Auckland City. Suburbs very close to home when I first started working. So if you could write that down on your paper and then share for us.
Yeah.
Dana says it was like a job, pinching milk money.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's a bit like Oliver Twist, Dana.
I've never heard that one from you, Dana. That's good.
Okay, so we're recording number 2, and then we're going to have a wee share.
So, I'm just thinking about the pub that I was in a suburb of Wairoa. Okay.
So did you have much choice about where you could work? Because you were working with the family, with your dad.
Yeah.
So it was not so much family business, but it was the family livelihood.
Yeah.
So you were working there. Were you able to work other places as well?
No.
No, so you had to work with Dad.
Mum always said, what do you want to... Because I want to be independent, right? I want to have a go at a paper run. Why do you want to do that? You can work here. And like I had a blue mum, so that was the end of that. I stuck up for myself and thought, frig it. I'll friggin' work here then.
Yeah. Yes, Eva, this is number 2. Nicoletta says her most paid job was as a dominatrix. Just go with it. Is it the suburbs, out in the countryside, in the centre of the city? I mean, hey, whatever works. There's no judgment.
Yeah, right.
So
that's very good.
Zelda's in Melbourne City, so in the city itself, and then out in the suburbs. Localised in Cornwall, says Rebecca, and in New Plymouth. So, Rebecca, where you are in New Plymouth, are you working in town?
Yeah.
Are you working on the outskirts? Are you in a particular suburb? Do you work right across the board? Just narrow it down just a wee bit more than just the city itself.
Excuse me, can you educate me where the hell Cornwall is in England?
Cornwall,
because she's in New Plymouth, which is on the west coast, out on a bit of a peninsula.
Yeah, well, so is Cornwall.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Because that's a pretty windy place, New Plymouth.
Yeah, so is Cornwall. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's pretty raw out there.
Prevailing winds, New Plymouth, because I know New Plymouth, so if she's duplicated Cornwall and New Plymouth, I'll know what Cornwall's like because I know what New Plymouth's like.
Right, so Cornwall is right at the bottom of England. It comes down and then there's kind of a little bit of a boot sort of thing popped out on the very end there.
Well, that's New Plymouth, eh?
Yeah, and it sort of sticks out on its own.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's definitely...
I wonder if it's got a bloody big mountain.
I don't know about that. I don't know. It's actually got Mount St. Michael. I'm not sure if that's Cornwall or Devon. But, yeah, beautiful countryside. So Rebecca's saying, right in the city? Oh, in the mall. Okay, so that's great. Farming. Yep, Waikato, Morrinsville for Christine. So that's where she started out.
This is a plastic cow town.
I love that place.
So do I.
We go through there and count cows every time.
Cows. I think we got up to 32 last
30
time.
something we counted when we went through there. Okay, so now...
Actually, she'll have she'll have cows in the matrix.
Eva, we're looking at the first paid job, but we're also looking at the ones where you earn the most money. We're just now looking at a range to see how you can earn the most money, particularly because that's the one that's going to give us the biggest clue. Definitely that first one will be an indicator as to where you could go from or what you started out doing.
Yeah, and younger the better too, Siobhan, because
That's
you know
Eva.
I work off the pub because I started working there when I was 5, so that set a pretty good work matrix.
You know what I found out for me was that I was always paid just a sum. And it was never per hour and it was never per item or anything like that. And even when I was school teaching, I worked out that even though I could create all kinds of programs and activities and things for the children, I was actually paid to turn up in the environment, produce the paperwork that I was supposed to produce, and be there between set times. That what I did in the rest of the time, to my subconscious, that was all free. So the outer perimeter of my work was paid, but the inner part of it was free, which is a really interesting thing to look at when you're trying to clear some of this. Yeah, Nicoletta, you can put as many places as you like.
Yeah, man, because I'll fit a pattern.
And put the more the merrier, just like we've identified there with Rebecca. She's got Cornwall and she's got New Plymouth. Geographically are similar.
Correct.
So the work will be the same, that you'll find ways that it crosses over, especially when we're trying to identify what patterns that we're trying to clear here. It will give the more information, the better. So Cornwall's, there we go. Cornwall, very much like in Taranaki, yeah. And the first settlers came from Cornwall. Well, that's interesting. Isn't that surprising? Not really. Siobhan, first job in a... Whoops. I've got the messages popping up everywhere. Siobhan says the first job in the local nursing home at 14, cleaning in the kitchen or rooms. And then the best paid job was in a call centre speaking French in industrial near Shannon Airport in Ireland.
You are definitely in a French blinking lifetime there.
And this is literacy too, you know, it's being able to speak.
I think you're programmed to be subconsciously French more than Irish to earn your income, Siobhan.
Yeah, totally. And so that's going to indicate, Siobhan, some kind of French past life.
Yeah, man.
You know, the fact that you're able to be in a call centre and be so fluent in French that you are able to technically speak to people about what they need to know is definitely going to be a past life in there.
Last week we did past life and income, and that would have been a bloody good night for you because you'd be able to go in there and sort that, eh?
Sort what?
Here in a French lifetime.
Oh, the past lives, yeah, that would be a good one. I mean, every week in the past life discovery course, you can come in each week. Yes, if you can do the whole series, it just gives you a little bit of background, but you can come in any one of the nights because each one's quite standalone.
Yeah, man.
So you can do that. Siobhan's saying that, interesting, that the name of that nursing home was St. Paul's. One of her twin brother's name is Paul, and her current man is Paul.
I think you're Paul and you're blinking in here.
I've been looking for some connection to St. Paul or a town or a location that has Paul in there that will be connected with that past life somehow.
And the French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Joseph's saying she gets money from having a baby and looking after kids. And they take money from you for your working. So yeah, that's another thing. If we're looking at benefits of any kind, so we can have sickness benefits, unemployment benefits. I don't know if it's still called that, but it used to be domestic purposes benefit. Child support, you know, from a past relationship where you're getting paid money from the father to support the child. ACC payments, any of those are all ways of possibly earning income, and we need to think about that as well.
Josephine was gestated in a social welfare family home, and we received bonuses or a governmental income. So, and we were looking after kids. So do you understand? And see, on this side, we will write down who you get your program to get your income from. And for Josephine, you do the cause thing here with look after kids and da-da-da-da-da. And over here, who does the effect come from? Who pays you the money? And you write that here. So for you, Josephine, you would put government, you'd put the institution, or whatever words would describe the governmental thing. You would write that here. And if it was mainly a female that gave you income, you would put female.
Especially if your caseworker was female, that
Yeah.
would be enough.
If it was a white guy, you write white. Whatever.
Yeah,
And you
however
just,
that works.
that's how we clear the cause, and we also clear who we get the effect from on this way, because we want to have free choice.
Yep. To earn our income however we wish. So Siobhan's saying that she speaks French at the Rotorua eyesight. So she's definitely, this French has come in really handy for her.
What kind of bucks do you make there, Siobhan?
So you might want to have a look at, how well being able to speak.
Yeah, at the information site.
Yeah, how to speak a different language.
I thought I said.
No, darling.
I'm not reading it. I'm not reading.
Hush. You're getting excitable. Have a look at how being able to speak a different language is really important for you to be able to earn your money by the look of it.
I think we might have that in
I'd
here.
be putting that in my cause.
Yeah, man.
Nicoletta's got a beautician and sunbed clinic, so yep, great, pop that kind of thing in. Think about where you were. Was it in the suburbs? Was it out in a rural area? Was it in the centre of the city? And yeah, we'd love to see these similarities too. That's why we're looking at all these items.
With Nicoletta, she had a dominatrix matrix,
Yep,
right?
I can see how that would tie in with
That would fit, because in a beautician, you have to deal with one person at a time here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one-on-one, and you better write that down here, please.
One-on-one. Yeah. She says, the French is not going so great. She's learning Spanish. You're going to be multilingual by the time you finish.
You might learn more money through talking a different language from English.
Right, so Nicoletta's got Miramar. Okay, so suburb there. Yep. All right, so now we're looking at the general location itself. So this is the physical locality, similar to what we did last week. So are we on the coast? Are there mountains nearby? Is it in the middle between, two coasts? Are there any distinguishing landmarks? So if you're working in Auckland City or many places in Auckland, you look out your office window or your whatever window and you see either the Harbour Bridge or you see the Sky Tower. Two major landmarks in Auckland that I've seen from pretty much everywhere I've either lived or I've worked has been those.
You can split those up. You can have natural landmarks, which include hills and rivers and sea and whatever, and then you'll do man-made landmarks, as in the bridge or the casino or
just anything that stands out to you, and you just think, if you're down there in New Plymouth, Rebecca, in that central city at the mall, I think I know where you mean. You've got that big kind of rocky outcrop there. I think there was an accident at one point and they closed that, stopped people from climbing it. But you've got that, and then you've got the cliffs and you've got the waterfront and all those kind of things. You've got the big wind wand down there. So have a look at those kind of items in the locality where you are now. And then think about any other place that you've worked, where you've been living. And sometimes where you live and where you work are different. We have some other people on here today who live in one town in central New Zealand, North Island, and they actually travel to one of the bigger centres to go to work. So just think about that work reality. Where do you go to work?
Rebecca, you've got ocean as prominent.
Prominent. Well, it is. So that waterfront.
So when you write the water, what you do is you write salt water underneath there, because that's this ocean, and you also put the west coast, because the sub registers things in direction as in the compass.
And that ocean there off of New Plymouth is quite rough.
Yep, you write all that down there.
And it's quite dangerous.
Bloody cold.
Yeah, so keep a note on that. A lot of wind coming in from
and it's a different sea.
That's Tasman.
I've got East Coast Karma.
Yeah.
So I've got Pacific, but you've got Tasman Sea. And I don't know what the sea is to the west of England. Is that
west of England?
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
But you better write that down,
because the Atlantic up there or the North Sea.
It's definitely the west coast.
It depends on where you are in England too, because you've got the Irish Sea up in there as well. Nicoletta we're in the cause, so we're writing down all the things that we have to create to get our income. So Shannon was about an hour inland from the coast, but like Rotorua. In fact, if you put a knitting needle through Rotorua and through the core of the earth, it would probably come out in Shannon. Yeah, so it just goes to show how we just keep duplicating those places over and over and over. For me, Rotorua is pretty much central in this part of the island, and Auckland, where I lived there, was central. It's a skinny little place, Auckland is, very narrow, but where I lived and worked was in the centre. So same with here with Rotorua.
Atlantic.
Oh, it's the Atlantic. Thanks, Rebecca.
Cool.
Yeah. So Zelda's saying high-rise buildings, many floors, lots of traffic, very noisy streets, train stations. So right there sounds like right there in the CBD,
you write that
basically.
down, please, Zelda?
Yeah. That big train station there, is you talking about the big one in the in Melbourne City?
That's a whopper.
That's a huge train station, and it's beautiful. You've got the river that runs through there too, so I'm not sure if that's the area you're in.
They had a really good babushka doll shop just up.
Yeah, oh, we might have to go there one time.
Oh, God, it's full of them.
But yeah, all those kind of things are important because your subconscious ego records all of that, and every time you go to look for a job, it's trying to replicate that in some way.
I might bloody look up that shop on the net. They might be able to sell them.
Right. Number 4, hills and train tracks for Gina.
Oh,
yay.
Mata.
So number 4, we're back to the type of neighbourhood that you were in, and we've heard a little bit here, like Zelda's mentioned this. So are we the kinds of, is it, are we in the real centre of the CBD? Are we in high-rise? Are we in multi-storey buildings? Are we in, if it's rural, is it, a wider countryside where there's a farm here and a farm here, or there's a small strip mall of shops? Are there big malls that you're working in? So we're looking now at the specifics of that area where you were working. So again, I'm just thinking about what Rebecca's got, because I'm familiar with that area, not so much with everyone else's. But we've got multi-storey car parks, we've got the malls, we've got parking meters on the outsides of the roads, we've got one-way streets, all this kind of thing in that area of New Plymouth. So what was in that location? Now thinking about some of those best paid jobs, or the ones that stand out for you, the one where you maybe spent more time, or you really enjoyed, or it was one of your better jobs, because we want to find out what causes that. So now have a look at the specifics of that location that you were in. The last school I worked in, very, very limited parking, right in the city centre of Parnell in Auckland, adjoining the domain up there. In fact, our school had no external playground for itself, and we took the children out to play on kind of boundaried areas on the domain area itself for their breaks. So big 7-storey building that we had the seniors in, and even the building that I was working in with the smaller children, we had 4 stories there. It was a converted office block. It used to be Phillips and Impey, a paint manufacturer. It was their office, and it got converted for a school. So that's the kind of detail that you're looking for at the moment.
Yeah, man. Have you gone on that?
Not specifically on that. I'm kind of around it, but yeah, there's more detail there, isn't there?
Yeah.
Okay, so what have we got here?
That's kind of what's so good with us showing you and sharing you our insights. We build on ours. I've found about 4 things that I've never looked at before this live.
We start to talk about it, and it triggers other thoughts for us.
Yeah, man, we'll sit down over there and have a good yak, and we'll go, and we'll just bring it up, right, clear
those aspects. So Zelda's saying funny. Well, we know that this is the sub working, so it's kind of funny but not funny at the same time. In Whangarei, she worked next to the railway line also, and to a river. So that's what you'll start had to find. Man. Good awareness. Nicoletta, near Weta Studios with some interesting people. Yeah, definitely. Eva, the main city or town in a region in Wellington, and water, so river or ocean. Well done. Christine, Mount Eden Hill, and then the green of Waikato. So even on Mount Eden Hill, even though it's a mountain, it's got a lot of green space on there too. It's just that it's like, instead of being flat like the Waikato, it's up a hillside, so you've still got your green there. And then the dry of central Queensland, sorry. So
That's
we're looking.
That's a past life.
It's another past life, yeah. Kind of drove up something in there. There's something with that.
Yeah. So what you do is you just imagine you as a whatever past life you get. Araenia says drover. Go in there and talk to him or her, and say, what did you do to earn your income?
Yeah.
And what you do is you do exactly the same here. Who'd you earn your income off? Oh, the white boss. Right. Write that down here, or the it's not ranchers over there, but the station owner. Yeah. Okay. And you clear this and get it out of your Australian matrix.
I suspect that there's an Aboriginal lifetime in here too, so that would be interesting to find out. And
you
they
never
also
earn friggin' money if you're an Aboriginal
in the central Queensland. If we're looking at open spaces, whether it's on a hill in the green of the farmland in Waikato or in the more central areas in Australia where it's dry, it's all open space. So just slightly different environment, but we're looking for the factors that pull it all together. Righty, so Rebecca's saying her better job was next door to where she is now. So that's interesting, actually, that have a look at what that shift is. So where you were, what's the difference between when you were there and where you are now? Have a look at that physical reality, because you'll be seeing in this physical reality I could do well. In this one that's right next door, it's not quite as good as it was before. And there will be some physical item at that level that is going to impact on that. Whoops, we're getting messages everywhere. I'll answer that in a minute. Right, so Rebecca says she loved it so much she got made redundant in 2012 from it. Yeah, have a look at that physical matrix. Have a look at what created that redundancy, because you definitely do not want to manifest that aspect again, because this will be a beauty to clear out of your matrix.
And everything that we manifest, our subconscious wants. Always remember that. Now, you've got down there, you've always had bullying in the workplace. Your subconscious mind may not like to have a work reality, because it'll be protecting you from being dominated and bullied. Now, I'm just going to give everyone an idea. This work reality is duplicating what happens at school.
Yeah.
Because somewhere along the line we're going to go, and I started at 8:30, I had a morning break, then I had lunch, and it's exactly the same start here. Then I had morning smoko, then I had lunch, then I had afternoon tea. It's the same matrix. So if anyone has got bullying in their workplace reality, which is this one, that means you got a hard time somewhere at school. And if you had hard time at school, you go back to home and check that out too, because your sub's duplicating.
Right. Maika, I've kind of missed what was the same for you, but yeah, if you could, just chuck that in there, that'd be good.
Yeah.
We're just about to start number 5, Eva. So Gina's saying when she was working at her best job, she was always studying. So that would be another thing to pop in there.
Whoa.
Is that to have a really good job, you have to be studying. So if you stop studying, that means you are unable to have a good job.
Yeah.
So definitely put that in your matrix. Rebecca says she knew it was school related. Yeah, great. When we clear this out of here, we'll chuck in that school aspect of it as well, because school is definitely where our income, our work realities come from. That's where they start from.
Because remember, at school we're learning knowledge, and that's a tangible income, which is, and see, blue people feed their head, red people feed their belly, because the red matrix is down here, gut feeling and all that, and up here. So when a blue person wants to sit down and basically have income, they will feed their head more likely like knowledge. So they'll read things or watch documentaries, or watch something on TV that's actually income in their head. Whereas if a red person like me sits down over there, I said, oh, I feel like a bit of income, the last thing I want to do is freaking read a book. I want to sit down and have a packet of chippies or something bizarre like that, because I want to feed the pocket.
And I'm just looking at here, we've got a bit of a theme coming through. Rebecca's saying her sister was the biggest bully. Siobhan's talking about her mother being a bully. We actually have a transmission video on our YouTube channel, which you can now, because we worked out how to put that link in, you can now go to the homepage of our website and find our YouTube link and find all our videos there. But I'm thinking we might do one of our Facebook Live transmissions around bullying.
Yeah.
Because that's a really good one, and we've got a lot to say about that.
Both of those are females, so whoever you were bullied at school or at home will determine who bullies you at work. So if you've got female, a bully teacher, a bully whatever, at work, you're going to manifest you're programmed to manifest a bully female boss.
So Rebecca's likely to manifest a female bully who is of a similar age or similar level in the company as herself. Siobhan's more likely to manifest an older woman who would represent her mother. It would be a boss or a supervisor or something like that to be her bully. And that's just because of the relationship there in the family. Nicoletta's saying her sister was too, so same. I think we're going to do a bullying
we'll do a bully matrix. That's a
That'll
good
be a good
idea.
one. The train tracks and rivers. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, always female bullies. The patterns don't lie, guys. The patterns do not lie. If it's there in one place, it's going to be there in others. And this is not random. This is subconscious patterning, and that's why it keeps happening. That's why Yasa and I are so passionate about getting this message out there, that this is something you can do something about. You do not have to be constrained and limited by all these bloody awful things that you've manifested. You can do something about it. And yep, you can go and, move your crystals around, you can turn a card, you can burn this incense or whatever. And that's great, because I like to do that stuff sometimes.
Get out the sage and smudge the shit out of it.
You can do that. But all it does is remove the top surface. To get rid of that pattern, you've got to clear it. And that's what we're wanting to show you how to do. Okay, Sister Bash. Well, there we go. There's Christine's sister's beating her up. We're definitely doing bullies. Okay, let's get on to number 5. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. So we're looking at the actual property itself. So the building. Are you in a shop? Are you in a factory? Are you in a cow shed?
Single story, double story, multi-story.
Yeah, all those kinds of things. So we're looking at the actual land or the exterior, not so much the inside at this point, but we're looking at what kind of makeup is this location that you go to. It's like I just said to you a moment ago, the senior part of our school was 7-story purpose-built building on the old Institute of the Blind, which has got its own karma in the land anyway. We'll do one on land karma one night. That's fascinating. So that's got its own karma in the land. And then the other part of the school where I was working was actually separated by a road, and it was a 4-story repurposed office block that had been the old paint headquarters. So that was the physical location that I was working in, probably the best job I ever had teaching. Earned me the most money. It was in a private school, and I was there for quite a while. So that's why I'm looking at that one.
Tell you, you take that friggin' computer and you go up there in that mezzanine floor, because you have got bloody multi-story building for income, and you do your mahi up there.
You know what I want?
It'll double our income.
If I ever wanted to get some peace and quiet and go and work somewhere, I'd take my computer up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So at the moment she's down,
yeah,
which
I'm
is
on the bottom
against
floor.
that.
Yeah, totally. So what have we got here? Oh, we're so lovely. Oh, sunshines too. Those, I love that. So Nicoletta's saying one was an old Victorian house and the other was upstairs from panel beaters. So we're looking at 2 very different types of environments there. It looks like your work reality has been quite varied. So have a look, and I'll be looking side by side. In fact, for you, Nicoletta, because there's so much variation, I'd almost, other than this, I'd be making a list side by side of the job, and then each kind of category, and see as you go across the page where those patterns fall, because there will be similarities between the ones that worked and the ones that did not. Yeah, land karma would be awesome.
So,
land karma is brilliant.
So this one here, this is the outside cladding of the building. You know, I was brought up in a pub which was white and was made out of
So we're going into that now. That's
wood.
number 6.
What? What the fuck's this?
That we were just really looking at the outside of the building. If you've got big parking lots and
Oh,
stuff.
okay. So that's kind of property.
Yeah, we're looking at the property aspect of it. Now we're going inside number 6. Okay, and Yasa's saying cladding, etc.
Okay, so one of them's outside cladding and one of them's inside cladding.
Sorry, I was just reading what
Maika
was putting on here, because I was just trying to understand your question. What you're looking at, Maika, is that you've got a split reality. So the first part of the work is at home, but then you've got to go and do the labour in town. So maybe you can do your organisation, preparation, that kind of thing. Has to be in your own home, and then look at how you organise that. Is it in an office, on the dining table? And then you've got to actually go to another location to do the physical part of it. So wouldn't it be nice if that you could just do it all right there where you wanted to? So if you put for you, it's a split location or split reality for your work. Yeah. Okay, can I carry on?
This is outside. It's just that you got to have the outside cladding, because, you know, some are made of brick, some are made of concrete, some are made of wood. My pub was white weather board, and it was 2-story building. So I go to boarding school. Guess what the homestead was? It was white weatherboard, and it had accommodation. It's like my pub, same matrix. That's why I did so well at boarding school, because according to my subconscious, it worked really well.
Yeah.
So the next one.
So this is number 6. So this is the
Inside?
what? Oh, you're way ahead of me here.
Oh,
We're looking
sorry.
at the outside of the building. What's it made of? What colour is it painted?
Right, so
what's on the roof? Has it got any gardens around? Is there car parking straight out front? Are there stairs that you've got to go up?
Yeah. Elevators.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So we've got we've got multi-story.
We're not inside the building yet, sorry. We're still on the outside.
He's so eager to do
So
this.
I'll tell you what, outside fire escape.
Fire escape.
Fire escape.
Yeah.
Outside stairs.
External access.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in that school where I came, I had to park around the back in a little tiny spot that you could only get about 5 cars in, and then come in the bottom door and then climb 4 stories of steps inside. Which, well, that was a bit much, carrying all the heavy bags. So Eva's got multi-story, multi-buildings, connected by walkways and tunnels, places like the Beehive, Parliament House, Library, Bowen House, and number 1, the Terrace. If you look at all of those, Eva, they're all basically governmental buildings. They're all, when you look at the style and the type, they've all got a similar feel to them. So even places like National Archives and things like that feel very similar with their atmosphere to Parliament. Bowen House, even though they are physically different, they have a demeanour about them, if I can say that, because of the kind of purpose that they have. So look into that. Siobhan, I know where she's working, I know that building. She says Tudor building, eyesight, 2-story, winding staircase to clock tower. So clock tower, again, repurposed, used to be the post office. Gina, 2-story, home business, countryside, home business, both jobs, family owned. Good awareness, Gina. Well
That's the bugger. That's the bugger. So over here you put paid by the family, maybe.
Yeah. And then we've got some colours coming in here. So we've got green from Rebecca. And parallel realities with music and art. Yeah, so totally. You're looking at those parallel realities, and you're looking at split locations, Maika.
Check what the roof was made of. You know, corrugated iron, tiles, whatever. We're always looking for the pattern, okay? Remember the subconscious mind? It has 12 senses. It uses 5 of our physical senses, which is the touch, feel, hear, smell thing, but it's got 7 others. And we have to work out what the hell those other 7 senses are. And this thing checks the sum.
It's interesting that you mentioned what's on the roof, because there will be some kind of roof types that will cap you, and some that will help you to elevate and escalate. If you think about that concept of the glass ceiling, which is basically an invisible layering that you can only go so far up, and if you hit a glass ceiling, you're unable to progress any further in that company. Have a look at any of the jobs that were limiting, did not work out the way you wanted to. Have a look at their external structure, what's on their roof. Was there some kind of cap stopping you from being able to move? It might even be a division between floors. There may be a locked fire door or something that you were unable to go from layer to layer. Those kinds of things can impact you as well.
Can you please read out that Eva Rose one?
Yes. So Gina's got lovely gardens, very welcoming. That sounds brilliant. Interior, everything custom made. Yeah, good point. Good point. Carpet, furniture, artwork, special spaces. So auditorium, debating chamber, internal courtyard. All of that is really, really relevant.
You've got a bloody Ponzi work reality, girl.
She's got governmental.
If you go for a job and your sub goes, what's your work reality like? And if that's your work reality, it's going to be really limited.
Yeah. So if you want to work in some kind of store or a creative type building, because we talked about, creativity with you in the past life last week, all that rigidity and purpose built of governmental type buildings will impact on your ability to do the kind of work you want to do.
Sorry, Rebecca. Toes up.
Well, that's really encouraging.
She better check where she's programmed to get her income from, because Rebecca is her own income. But if someone's programmed to get income from the institution, the government, the company, whatever it is, and you open up your own business and you want to earn your own money, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's where you need to look at what your limitations are, look at what you have been doing in your own business, and then is it as profitable as you want it to be? So with both, well, I come out of institution, a government institution through education. And for me to teach and educate and write books and create online courses for us is not following government curriculum.
No, it's not.
So I've had to clear that. It means I can, in fact, I create a curriculum for being human.
It's not a biggie. You're going to be able to clear that tonight.
We're going to do it. So anything about your business that is not fitting or does fit any of that patterning, pop it in and we'll clear it, and that will give your business the opportunity to open up.
You know how you go into the phone settings and your phone's limping around like a lame duck, and all of a sudden you go into the settings, oh, far out, I've got to push this button and everything comes to life?
Yeah. That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing, and you have got, by the sound of it, get paid by someone else other than yourself.
Yeah. Siobhan's saying she's got 6 exits onto different streets, no car park for staff. That's a really interesting, that fact that there's 6 exits or 6 access points.
So if you want to write a book, you better find a building with 6 freaking access points.
Yeah. Okay, so Nicoletta's saying both privately owned businesses, and it's a nice place to work. Exterior is custom stone from the South Island, lots of security, gates, guards, x-ray entrance. Yeah, so even the guards and the x-ray, that's all important to put in there, Eva.
Saffron, succotash.
Yeah, Rebecca, we get that. that's what we're trying to do too, It's like create our own work reality.
Kia ora, Candace.
So, hey, kia ora, Candace.
You want some of our rain, girl? We've got shitloads here.
Tons.
Come and bring a bucket.
Block. So the corner block means that you've got multiple access points. So if you look at direction and compass points and have a look at whereabouts on the corner you are, whether are you on a, like a cross junction so that you've got people diagonally opposed to you, which access point are you coming in off this side or that side? What have you got facing out to the street, all that kind of thing.
You've got to check, because you're programmed to be on a corner block to get your income. This is all about income, right? This is the blue matrix.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking at tonight, Candace, is how we can earn our income, how we can remove any limitations from preventing us from doing what it is we want to do. So number 5 was, far out, what have we got here? So number 6 was the actual physical attributes of the building. So that's where you're talking about your stone and that kind of thing. And then number 5 was more to do with that physical location of it. Okay, so we're into number 7. So who works or who is in this locality or this workplace with you? So is it your company? Is it multiple companies? Is it a retail mall with all kinds of individuals? Are they privately owned? Are they franchises? Have you got bosses, directors, CEOs, financial officers?
Eva, you put government in here.
Yeah, you've got to put government. Is it you as a sole trader? Is it you as your own business with people working under you? So just have a look and see what the makeup of the human content is in your workplace or in your work building, especially if you are in a place that has multi businesses on different floors or in different shops. Both owned by older women. Well, that's interesting. She's going to keep the same. Yeah, she's at crossroads. So the fact that you're at a cross junction means that you've got opposing energies coming towards you, like kind of arrows as well. So that whatever is on those opposing corners, Candace, I'd be looking at what kind of businesses they are and what their makeup is as well, because what has happened there is that you have created a square with one of you in each corner, and you're one part of that square. Now that would go back probably into our number 4 or 5 that we were looking at, the physical exterior environment. At home's just her office professional services building. And we've got privately owned MD, part of a big family hospitality group. So that's all really relevant. All that information, just pop it down on your checklist. Okay, so number 8. We're looking at the internal location or the internal setup of your location. So have you got desks and chairs, library bookshelves?
What's on the floor? Is it lino? Is it carpet?
Yeah, the physical. Now we're not talking at this point yet about your physical tools. That comes a bit later. What we're just looking at is the environment. So the classroom that I was last teaching in had a big whiteboard. It had windows down one side, had doors to access. It had probably about 25 student desks and chairs, a small teacher's desk, an overhead projector, or no, it's not a project. It's not an overhead projector. It's one of those big digital projector things that we could, work digitally from. Carpet on the floor, fire door just outside the room.
What kind of lights do you have?
Fluorescent lights.
Yeah. So see, here we have no fluorescent lights. We've got normal light bulbs, and we've got the sun. So the subconscious mind goes, hey, where's the fluorescent light bulbs? Because I actually make better income under fluorescent light.
Especially ones that flicker. There was always one that was never quite right, so I had to have a flickering light.
That blessed subconscious mind records all that and the other 7 senses.
So Zelda's got here 95% women, single, business to building. Yeah.
Bloody good.
Yeah. And that's important, that they make up there that the bulk of them were women. So if you then try to take your work, your business, whatever, your job, your income stream, into a location that's predominantly male, it's going to be a very different situation, and you may find events or just limitations in that, because that's not what you're programmed to do. But if that's the ideal location where you want to be, we need to clear that limitation and expand it so that's where you can go. So cool, office down the back, on top of the floor, open plan walls, right, timber floor, fluoro lights. Yeah. Tons of natural light. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're in an apartment building, you better write down lots of glass.
Yeah.
If
high rise, they have a lot of glass too. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Right. So then number 9 is any.
Please, this is where you put in internal staircase, elevators,
Yeah,
escalators,
yeah, we need all that.
all that. Next time you go to work, which is probably tomorrow, just check. Oh, okay, I've got this. Oh, I never noticed it. There was always a reception at the front door.
Yeah.
Write that down, please. What's the era of the building? Is it old, medium, new?
And even where are the bathroom facilities?
Yeah,
Because
man.
that last job where I was, if I wanted to go to the bathroom, I had to go out the door, down the stairs, down the other stairs, round the corner. That's not something that you can easily do when you're teaching.
You must have that in your teaching matrix. Because how often do you have the dunny down there just next door?
Yeah. No. Teaching is like, and then you're not even supposed to be going out to the bathroom in class time,
So
which is a real limitation.
Our bathroom, Araenia works
Yeah,
there.
but I sleep. I have to come down the stairs and
Yeah, but not like she works there and the bathroom's there, so therefore the sub goes, oi, where's the hikoi? Where's the big walk to the dunny?
Yeah. Okay, so Candice is saying, oh, hang on, going back there. Nicolette is saying dim lights, relaxing beauty beds, sunbeds, and other dom furniture. Job dom furniture. Okay, Candice says her whole floor is women business owners and super successful. So that's, if you want to be a female woman business owner, super successful, if that's your aim, then you're definitely in the right place. You can still pop that down as a category.
Yep.
To clear even those positive things. Remember, if you clear the positive, you open yourself up, because what might hold you back there, Candice, is that you've got to have a heap of other women around you.
Absolutely.
And at some point, you might want to do it differently. So in that way, it's a limitation, even though it's working.
Did you happen to go to a girls' boarding school by any chance?
Yeah, a girls' school, or a good
Who
girls'
was super
school.
successful and the high achievers?
Okay, so my last job I had before moving out here was qualified teacher aide. I went to as a child where the bullying started. Yeah, so you're carrying that bullying matrix with you, Rebecca.
Shit, yeah, you're going to bloody
definitely
good.
Need to clear that one.
What a cow.
Great environment.
You want to have your own work reality, but you're actually programmed to be in a reality where you get the bash or get bullied.
Yeah, totally. Team leaders, manager, finance team boss. Spotlights. Spotlights there for Siobhan. Mainly females. Carpet, lots of local foot traffic. Toilets and buses outside. Standing. Now, standing all day behind a timber counter, that's really important to put in there.
Yeah, and also, Siobhan, you've got an
Girls'
international
college.
matrix.
There you go. See?
Girls' college.
We don't have to be psychic, Candice. We just work it out from your patterning.
Totally.
Okay, so bathroom. She was in a lot. I would really like to talk to you about that prison karma some days, Helder. I think we need to do something about that one. It keeps popping up.
Your last lifetime, maybe.
Yeah. High achieving woman in her girls' college. Yeah, that's totally your pattern there, Candice. It really works. Yeah. Whoops. I'm just moving us. Okay, so number 9, we were looking at any particular patterns, decor, furnishings. So is it white? Is it stark? Is it plush? Have we got coloured curtains? Is it modern? Is it functional? Is it comfortable? Just looking at that kind of aspect. Rebecca's over it. Yeah, I totally understand that. It's a thing that needs to be. You can stick up for yourself, but you need to take that pattern out. Love.
Take that pattern out.
You need to take it out because it's limiting you and it's causing you more angst than it needs to. Yeah. Massage for 13 years, and that was standing up all day. So you've got standing up, but when you write, do you stand up, Siobhan?
She does have standing up.
Do you stand up and write your books?
Far out.
So there's a difference there. Okay, so we're looking at the decor, and then in the final number 10, what tools, equipment, personal materials, and so on do you have? Uniform? Yeah, that is personally you in your space. So if you're a massage therapist, you're going to have your oils, you're going to have towels, you're going to have your uniforms or whatever. In office, you're going to have your pens, your computers, your mobile phones, whatever else is relevant to your location. For us, we've got to have the cameras, the lights, we've got multiple computers to be able to do our transmissions. And all these guys.
In amongst the 7 other sensors, this records the light and the warmth and where the warmth comes from. So please write down, was it panel heating? Was it whatever heating it was? Probably not heat pump, because that's
Yeah.
going back a day or two, but please write down what kind of heat, or if you froze your bits off, write that down.
We had those old things, the
Yeah.
ones that used to stick on the wall. Most
Yeah,
of the schools
exactly.
I taught in, and they had water, hot water would go through them. The caretaker would turn it on in the morning, and then he'd decide when he was going to turn it off, and we'd freeze the rest of the day. Yeah,
We had
freed my
panel
ass
heating.
off.
We had panel heating.
I know.
We had panel
And
heating.
I get cold.
And we just gave away our last heater, and it was a freaking panel heater.
All right, so we've got all that down now. If you popped all your comments 1 through 10, I'll just quickly zip through them again. So
And
number
we want a
1
fire.
was the country that you first started earning your income in, and any other locations that you have earned from. Number 2, was it city, country, suburbs, rural, coming in with these perimeters closer and closer each time. 3 was the general location, so was it near the coast, in the mountains, in the middle of the open area that somebody had there. What's the neighbourhood or the district like where your workspace is, or the one we're looking at? The physical environment outside the building, including the outside of the building and the physical area surrounding it. The building or the complex that it sits in, is it multi-storied, is it high-rise, is it a cluster of different buildings? Number 7, who is working with you? Number 8, the general layout of your workspace. So we were talking about elevators, stairs, whiteboards, that kind of thing. Number 9, the furniture, the furnishings, the fixtures, the general decor. And then number 10, your own personal space, your own workstation. What's it like? What kind of tools, equipment, and things do you have? These are all part of that physical green matrix that we are going to clear to open up and make more expansive so that we can earn blue, tangible money in the way that we want to.
Now,
so that's what we're doing.
Now, I'm just going to add a little bit here. This is a work reality, which is the same as a school reality.
Yep.
Now, this is away from home. Okay. By the way, some people might have in here work outside, because I had work outside. So you're going to have to, somewhere along here, put in I work outside if you've got this. But the point is, if this is away from home, you have to have a way to get to this.
Yep.
So somewhere on that piece of paper, can you just write over here transport, and you have to write down, please, what time did you have to get up early in the morning? Did you have to wear a uniform? Did you jump on a bus?
How did you get to work?
How did you get to work? Are you a 9 to 5er?
Yeah, standard hours.
Are you a
flexible
night
hours.
shifter? Are you a 24-hour
Yep.
sleep-in? All that stuff is in here. So please, just, you're going to have enough time, but if you run out, please write down, I got to be there at round about 8:30. I've got to do this. I've got to have that. I get home by a bus. Okay? And what we do with this thing is that the mind records everything in perimeters. So, we started out with the country, which is a big perimeter. Then we come into the province or the area that we live in. Then we come into the town or suburb. Then we go, and we are forever writing down what's in that perimeter until you get to your body and you have to write down, do you wear a uniform? Do you wear civvy street? What works best for you? If I have to wear a uniform, what do I have to... See, I worked out that... Okay, here we go. I've got a singlet, right? And it's got holes in it. Now, my old man...
Yes, I'll singlet.
My old man always wore one of these singlets to work. And he always wore a shirt. Okay, mine's green. His was always white. And he always had a watch. That's the only reason why I wear this blessed thing. Because the old man used to wear a watch. And that's a trigger for me to earn money. I've cleared it, but I've kept it going anyway, just in case. So you start out from out here and you work in to that. If you go to work, do you wear a particular makeup? Do you wear a particular deodorant? Because that's in the next layer inside your clothing.
Anyway, we've only really covered 10 of those green matrix items today. Like we were talking about earlier, once we've done this clearing, over the next few days, if you think of other things that, oh yes, that's right, I always have to do this, pop that up as if it's a tab on your computer and just say, can I clear this aspect of my income matrix? And it will always say yes. And then use the clearing process. Just go through those few items and clear them the way that we're just going to do now. So we're going to move into the clearing.
Yeah.
So Yasa's going to say the magic words. They're not quite abracadabra, but it's just
Jeez,
what we need. We need to get this sub thinking in the way that, or it needs to hear in the way that it can compute and can understand, so that we can remove this patterning. And we'll give you a wee bit of time in between just to have a quick read through your list, because everybody's will be different, but we'll just build that.
The fact you've written it down, it's pretty well been embedded.
It's cemented there.
So
anyway.
what happened? You just
have a quick look over it. You don't have to
and your soul
spend
will
hours
know.
on it.
Remember, 12 senses, and one of them's damn sight better memory than you and I will ever have consciously.
All right, so we're going to plug in first of all. First step.
Okay, first step is always to plug into your soul or Holy Spirit. And what you do, to do that, you imagine you have a flame in your heart, right? I've got a green
So you
shirt.
can imagine it, you can hear it.
Can I just borrow that? See, that looks a bit better, okay? Flame in your heart, you imagine that and you breathe it in, please.
Oh, that's rather hot going up my nose. So you can make the shape of a flame in your head. You can do like the namaste type flame. If that works for you, however you want to do it, but you're creating a flame in your heart. So that's the first thing, and breathe it in. Right, go Yasa.
Right, that's the first plug. Righto. Usually with the clearing, you can actually link up with any daughters, sons, brothers.
We don't need to.
We don't have to do this. This is basically a very personal matrix, okay? If you do, just link up with anyone and say, hey, I'm going to do an income clearing, and as soon as you get a feeling of yes or affirmative, you go, Yahoo, they're connected up. So then I'll say the next magic words, I recall and acknowledge all past lifetimes from now, 2020, all the way back to the eternal flame where my soul was created, where my subconscious mind to manifest an income effect or income pattern, I created these causes to manifest the effect. Now, when you do that, some people will get a flick of someone of another ethnicity, another culture, another country, another gender. Do you have any flicking?
No, not for me.
I got an English one.
No, you've been running English all day.
And he's got these big fluffy sideburns that kind of go...
And
he's fat, man, and he's got a fat belly.
While Yasa's ticking on this, just review your list. Have a look through it, go through each item. You've already written this down and thought about it, so you don't need to take too long with it. Just have a quick review, and then we're going to flame that part of it.
He drunk most of the profits.
Okay, so Nicoletta, what you're going to do is just go through and read the list that you put together. You do not need to spend a lot of time on it because it's already in your subconscious mind from thinking about it and recording it. Yeah. So just read through that yourself. We're just going to give you a moment to revise what your clearing's about. Then we're going to flame it.
Yeah. That guy gave me such a shock, I need to go to the dinner.
If anything else pops up while you're going through that list, just add it in your mind. You do not need to write it all down at the moment. If you want to, that's fine, but you can just add in anything extra that pops up while you're thinking about it. So we're going to take all of those items, bundle them all up like a big ball of energy, and we're going to suck them.
We're going to suck all this cause and how you received your effect. Government, company, private, whatever. We're going to suck all this and this side into your eternal flame. So it sucks it in from the subconscious inside into your matrix, into your gold matrix. So what
like a big vacuum cleaner.
Like a big golden vacuum cleaner.
Just do it.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, where I've observed this patterning, because you would have learnt this patterning from someone, or where I've received, been the recipient of this patterning. So this is where you have actually received income from this patterning, and where you have been the initiator of creating this matrix. Mentally, physically, emotionally, any karmic debt from any past lives. We just imagine we suck it inside into our flame. So you breathe it inside to the flame, you breathe it in. A column of light comes over you, and out the top of your head, through your crown chakra, you just blow golden rain and golden sparks out the top of your head. So you blow golden sparks. I'll do the sound effects. Cool. So what that done, that's wiped out all these, all right?
They're all gone.
All gone, because they've been put into the
flame and disposed of.
Fifth dimension. So what we now do, we wish to fill all these voids up with every single eternal flame that I have in my heart. So we just say to the subconscious, right, to fill all the voids up with my superconscious, my eternal flame, please. And what you do, again, you imagine you've got a heart flame in your heart and you breathe it in, please. And what that does, automatically, it puts flame into your setting. So it'll be flame, 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 flame.
Which stands for perfection.
Peace, harmony, and prosperity. And prosperity, remember?
Prosperity.
Peace, harmony, prosperity.
Yep.
Done.
And we're done.
And yeah, the clearing's quick.
That's the easy part.
That's the easy part.
The longer bit.
Yeah. Now, I've got a past life here with this guy who was an innkeeper quite a while back. Hard case. You drank all the profits. Yo, bro, you okay with the flame? Cool bananas. There you go. Cheers.
Okay. And we're done. We're done.
We're done.
So tomorrow night we are doing blue and red personality types. So I invite you to join us on Zoom, 7 o'clock. The bookings tab is on the front page of our website. Also those, you'll find them on Facebook. I'll be putting them up there. So blue and red personality types. Find out which ones you are in which settings. So that's tomorrow night. And on Wednesday night we have got our past life discovery. It's the second night. If you want to catch up on week 1, I do have replays and PDFs available for purchase for that. But you can join us also on Zoom, 7 p.m. for a past life discovery. This week we're bringing an item, a cultural item from home that we're particularly attached to, something that we really like, and we're going to use that as the portal for our past life discovery on Wednesday. So that's what's coming up this week. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for your contributions. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, man.
If there's anything that we've missed there, I'll make a point of going through probably tomorrow at this point and just getting back to anybody who made a comment that I didn't manage to get to. So, ka kire, and thanks very much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next week. All right. Good night.
Bananas. Laters.